Broadcasting live from the Ventrex studios in Frisco, Texas. It's the GenXR podcast with Doug and Mark coming at you live. In studio today with a very special guest, Diamond Dave. All of you on Facebook know the three of us, but those that don't know us, well, we went to high school together. Way back in 1987. So why is that relevant to you, you ask? Well, if you do the math, that makes us all part of the Gen X population. What up, boys?
What up, what up, what up? Do you still go by Diamond Dave, or is that an unacknowledged nickname nowadays?
It all depends on who asked that. It's, it depends on if I'm my wife or not. And here, Diamond Dave, and I usually don't turn around. So.
Diamond Dave. I heard a rumor, I don't know if it's true, Dave, that was, he had Eddie Van Halen teach him guitar lessons.
As much as I would like to say that was true, that was untrue.
Damn.
Yeah. Fake news.
That was fake news. Before it was fake news.
That was fake news. I had one lesson at the Melody Shop.
Oh, dude, the Melody Shop at Prestonwood.
Prestonwood, yep.
Dude, there was a dude. I'm hung up.
What? What'd you do?
Nothing. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
There was a dude that worked in the Melody Shop when we were in high school, and he was in a band called Soaking Wet. And I was in there with Bramhall one time, and we were looking at amps and stuff, and then talking to the dude, and he's like, man, you got to come check out our band. And I'm like, what's your band name? And he's like, it's Soaking Wet. And I kind of look at Bramhall. Bramhall looks at me, and I go, what? He goes, like Soaking Wet Panties?
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I'm 17. I don't know if I can get in, man. A band name, Soaking Wet.
I don't know what to think about that. Now, Dave, you had mentioned that I was the first guy to sell you a guitar.
Yes.
You still have that guitar?
It's not in my possession, but when my cousin, he wanted to start learning how to play guitar, and I said, okay, you can borrow this one. I'll let you learn it to play on. And then for some reason I go, hey man, I really want that thing back, because after I got it from you, I put it was a red.
Wait, you didn't explain how you got it from Doug though.
Oh yeah. So
I'm not going to say, sorry. I almost did it.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
So anyway, back then, we all wanted to be rock stars, and Doug had this awesome guitar. I go, hey, man, I really want to learn how to play guitar. And he goes, well, I'll sell you this guitar. I go, why? He goes, I'm going to start playing trumpet.
Because I'm trying to get chicks.
Chicks dig the trumpet.
Chicks dig the trumpet players.
Did. Yes, they do. Jealous?
Hey, man, I got a good accordion in the car, too, man.
Jealous?
Don't do that.
I didn't even know I did it. I didn't even realize I did it.
That's gay Doug that just checked in.
It wasn't.
So I bought this red guitar from him, learned how to play. Was it but Deep Purple? Yeah, 3-chord. And so my cousin ended up borrowing it, and then I remember the first thing after I did was it wasn't really raw enough, so somebody, it might have been one of those dudes at the Melody Shop, that goes, hey man, here, why don't you put this gold Gibson pickup in it? So that was a red guitar with this big ass double gold.
It's like $900 for the pickup.
No, I don't know what was. He probably found it in the trash in the back and sold it to my dumb ass. And then so I put it in that. But yes, my cousin, I don't know if he still has it or not, but I wish he did, because back then, all my rock stars, they played the Jacksons, the Flying V, and they all had that pointed neck on it.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I did is I took it out, because then I think the headstock on it had more of a Fender. Had the Strat headstock on it.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so I took it out in the garage, and I took a saw to it, and I sawed it into a point.
My guitar.
Of course, it was all,
you mean not like a bandsaw? Or anything? You had like a
it was
hacksaw?
like you saw a limb off a tree. All right, and so I sawed it down into a point. Of course, it was all warbly and stuff. It wasn't straight at all. And then I took spray painted it black.
Now, was this when you lived at the
Diamond Dave Custom Guitars
Tree location, or was this when you had the upstairs?
No, Bent Tree. It was Bent Tree.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yeah.
We all have been to parties at that house.
Yeah.
Remember the donkey? That was fun. I didn't think the donkey would do it, but it did.
I know. You pay him a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just a trick getting it up the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness
There's
gracious. Well, those of you out there who don't realize this, we kind of mentioned it in the intro, but graduated in 1987 from the Plano Senior High School. And so I'm 51. Mark is like 50-something. And Dave is 51. Holy crap.
Going on 52 in September.
November. But mentally, I'm 13-ish.
Probably right there with you, man. Yeah, I think that's why we're all here right now, because some really good shit's going to be coming out here in a little bit.
Well, Mark, you went to the Art Institute of Dallas learning video production. You figured that was the way of the future, and you wanted to not work for a living, and you wanted to like sit down and make videos and stuff.
I wasn't thinking any of that stuff, man. I went out to L.A. 2 weeks after the L.A. riots.
Oh.
In my rock star days, and got out there, the whole city was burning down, and I'm thinking, I might need a backup plan if this rock star thing doesn't work out.
Oh, because you went there because you were in Black Diamond.
No, I wasn't in Black Diamond. I was in a competing band called Roz.
Roz.
That's right.
So all these years I had you pegged as the Black Diamond bass player, and that wasn't true?
No, that is a fault. That is a what is it called?
Every once in a while we played with them.
Yes.
But that's
we.
You were in like Wasted Youth or something like that.
Yeah, so we would just play. I mean, we played this little bowling alley at Brian Howard's Lake House. Remember that one time?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I thought I could play "Still of the Night" on a BC Rich Warlock with a bow. You know, I mean, yeah. But I had it there. I mean, I was just there for complete. Just show. I didn't do anything, but man, the chicks were like going crazy. Yeah, it was so fun.
Well, that's why you do it, man.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No, that's it. And so when I came, so to your point, Doug, when I figured out that the rock star thing might not work out, I went into the whiskey, the Gazaris, the Troubadour, all these bars that like all my idols, all those bars, man, on Hollywood Boulevard. I've been to all of them. I went in and they're the size of a closet, and there's 13 bands, and this was in 92 because the riots were in April of 92, so I'm out there late April. And I go,
I'm sure you looked like you could take care of yourself too, right back then.
No,
right?
I probably weighed 3 pounds less than what I'm weighing right now.
And you had long hair.
I did have long hair at the time.
That was a bonus.
That was a bonus. I did go into a bathroom on Venice Beach. I had like $13 in my pocket, and I went in. I was on Venice Beach. I'm checking it out.
And you walked out of the bathroom with $25.95. What did you do in there, Mark?
When I was running out of money, and I'm like, hey, well, to your point, I go in there, and there's like 15 dudes just standing in the bathroom. Mexican dudes, like I guess illegals or whatever the deal was. And I walked in and I went, all right, I guess this is the way I'm going out. Walked up to the urinal, took a pee, and I'm like, they're gonna kill me over this, this $13 out of my pocket. Turn around, they all just standing there, and I go, peace out, and I just walked out. That was on Venice Beach. Anyway, long story short, I go into all these bars.
Yeah.
See all these famous bars that my childhood idols bands came from. So I'm like, I'm there. They're closets. There's 13 bands a night playing, and all of them, and this is 92, so glam is dead by this point. Nirvana has come out and destroyed every band. And I'm telling you, dude, it was like going into a time warp. Every band looked like Poison.
Dude, you could have just put marbles in your mouth and sang, and it would have been fine.
It's not that. It's this
kind of like today, only with a auto-tune.
I'm just saying that all the bands look like Poison, and Poison was like, it was like when Nirvana came out and destroyed all those bands, like, I'm like, I better come a backup plan. Hence your comment. Yes, I went to the Art Institute after that.
Yes.
To learn video.
Yeah. And Dave, you, after graduating the great Plano Senior High School, what were your big dreams?
Man, I just went with the flow. I went to University of Oklahoma, graduated there, came back here. And
with Howard.
Huh? Yeah.
With Howard.
And then came back here and then started a video production company.
Yeah.
You know, we all worked.
How ironic.
Yeah, together there. And I videotaped weddings and did, you know, low budget commercials, TV shows. And,
Low budget porn.
yeah. No.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, those would have paid better.
The weddings were the best, you know, where you had to dress up into a suit and tie and you're sweating balls.
Your ass off.
Yeah.
And then, but anyway, it all depended on who the clients were. And you knew on the pre-interview whether you're going to get hammered that night or not. I mean, you knew it.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Yeah.
They're feeding you drinks while you're shooting. And like the video starts off very, very steady, and towards the end of the night, like it's kind of like sideways.
But you know what's funny is you see all these wedding bloopers and all that kind of stuff of people. I mean, just hilarious stuff. People getting sick. I did it for I can't tell you how many years, and I don't have one. Not one.
Like the cake falls down or
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to give you all a great story, but
I videotaped a bunch of weddings too. I mean, and you're right. I don't recall anything significant either.
Was it on the digital 8 camcorders or was it?
Had a Canon L1 high 8.
The L1s were really good.
Yeah, no, it was a high 8. There was no digital in there, man.
Oh, okay, the high 8.
You could like.
It was on 8, but then I upgraded to high 8.
Yeah, no.
And then after the high 8 was the digital 8, which was backwards compatible, so you could play all your high 8 and your other
regular 8.
Yeah, and somebody actually just recently said, "I've got this high 8 tape, and it's got my kid when they were little." And I go, "I got this. This is the Sony camcorder that supposedly when you put it in night vision, you can see through clothes."
Yeah.
So I fired it up and I opened it up and it opens it up and I put it in there and it wouldn't work. I'm like, son of a gun. It didn't play her tape. So I was really bummed out. But then it was the digital 8, then it was the mini DV.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I never had one of those. Mark, I think Mark had.
I was sticking with it. Like, what do we start with? Like, you had when we were in high school, you had the 8 millimeter.
8 millimeter with that camera that's about this big. Yeah. I carried that thing. I was the kid following the white plastic bag floating around in the car, and I videotaped everything, and I still have everything. I mean everything. So if any of you somebody out there go for political office, I got you.
Not happening. Not happening.
Let me see if I can
break out that checkbook.
Rack focus that bag rolling across the parking lot. Yeah, it was fun, and then it was the mini DV.
What about SVHS?
Oh yeah, that was before.
That was like the big deal, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, let's really. It really wasn't that big a difference.
No, but the big deck, I mean the big VTR deck, you shove that thing in there and the LED lights were cruising along and you could scroll if the tape was dragging a little bit, you could adjust the drag on it. Ooh, you can change the color too. And it would always like fuzz when you press the knob, you'd like do it and it'd fuzz, but then you'd like, oh, now it's stuck. Then the Beta Cam SP.
Betacam SP. That's when you start upselling. Like, we can shoot it on SVHS, but if you really want high quality, you need to shoot it on Betacam SP.
That's when the big bucks started rolling in. The Betacam SP, and then DigiBeta. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And then it became digital. All right. So the Panasonic HVX 200 had the P2 cards that cost a lot of money.
But before that, though, you got DVC Pro. So you got DVC Pro.
Oh, that's right.
And then you move to those cards.
Yeah, because remember the VHS Betacam, it was Betamax. Remember the war?
Yeah, yeah.
What Sony was
Sony would not
VHS was Sony, right?
Sony was proprietary. And whoever came up, JVC, I think, came up with the first VCR, and they were like, yeah, we'll license the technology to anybody. And then you got everybody on the earth making VCRs, which the tapes you could put them in SLP, and they'd record for like 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours. And then, slow.
So and Sony's like, but ours is better quality. Oh, great! So I'm gonna watch Blade Runner, and it's a 3-hour movie, and I've got to put the tape in four times. I
gotta have three parts to it. Yeah, so that was the war, right? And I think that's a very interesting war because then it came around again with HD DVD and Blu-ray. What year did heavy metal change forever? What year did heavy metal change forever?
Well, hold it. 92.
Yep, that's exactly the right answer.
How in the hell did you know that?
because Nirvana came out and destroyed every single band that we loved and knew growing up in one instant.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of the movie Heavy Metal.
The cartoon?
No, yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Maybe I should have said hair metal.
Yeah, what year did Heavy Metal change forever? So it was 92 with Nirvana?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The second they came out, man, it changed music forever. I don't know. You guys may have a differing opinion on this, but I don't know. I don't ever recall in my lifetime music shifting like that on a dime instantly like that. Like a band changed the entire music landscape with one album.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yep.
I mean, it was over. Rat, done. Warrant, done. Motley Crue, done.
I mean, they couldn't make albums after that because of it? Or they tried? Like
Who?
Rat and Scorpions and...
Well, they all tried.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like when disco was the big thing, and then heavy metal came. Imagine after heavy metal came, but it took it a year to get there. Take that year out, and then bam, disco was dead. Then boom, heavy
The Bee
metal
Gees
was dead.
came out, and then everything ended.
Yeah, but it was a gradual. Who was it? Quiet Riot that first started it all? Maybe.
What do you mean?
The when it went to heavy metal hair.
Oh
bands.
man, no, Sabbath, dude. Black Sabbath.
No, I mean, okay, let's say.
Well,
more of a
Kiss was heavy metal.
Hair metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This was considered by the old.
yeah,
our
but
parents.
I would say when it really took. Mark, you know this better than I do. When did it really hit the sunset?
Oh, you mean like when like Van Halen and Quiet Riot, Van Halen, Quiet Riot.
80s,
you could throw Motley Crue in there because Motley Crue is like 81.
Yeah, so I'd say 80.
So yeah, it's 80, 81 is when even though I'm a huge Kiss fan, and Kiss was they were really huge in the 70s, and we were all little kids then. And I just remember like how much it impacted me when I saw a Kiss album cover. I was just like, I don't even know how to. What is this?
Name this commercial.
We didn't go to the moon.
Mr. Bubble.
Hey, what you eating? A neat candy bar.
Mikey.
Boy,
Oh yeah. Give it to
sounds
Mikey.
Good. It smells peanutty. What do you call it?
Oh no, it's a peanut. It's a candy
Whatchamacallit?
one.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, whatchamacallit?
What's right? Name. What name? Whatchamacallit?
I don't even remember what that candy bar was.
Whatchamacallit, the totally different crunchy bar of peanutty tasting crisp drenched in chocolate. Whatchamacallit from Hershey. You can ask for it by name.
Can I have some of that? Some of what?
Can I have some of
Can
that?
I have some of that?
That sounded a little.
Yeah.
Can I have some of that?
Like Caddyshack. Oh, give me some.
Yeah, but listen to it again because it was you thought it was the.
Well, I
Hey,
thought
what
it was-
you eating? A neat candy bar. Boy, is it crispy. Sounds good. It smells peanutty. What do you call it? Whatchamacallit? Whatchamacallit? That's right. What's right? Name. What name? Whatchamacallit? You forgot the name.
Whatchamacallit, the totally different crunchy bar of peanutty tasting crisp drenched in chocolate. Whatchamacallit from Hershey. You can ask for it by name.
Can I have some of that?
so seedy.
It does.
Can I have some of that?
I'm not really sure I know what the candy bar is called though.
Oh yeah, I did.
So it sounds like a Nestle's Crunch.
Yeah, right.
Or a $100,000 bar.
They didn't say the name of the candy bar enough for me to pick it up.
they didn't. Okay, and the last one listen to what the narrator, how the narrator says this. All right, here we go.
E.T. Video game?
E.T. is the Atari video game cartridge you have to buy separately to play on the Atari video computer system. Your parents hook it up to the TV. It's the video game that lets you help E.T. get home.
E.T.
This is the Atari video computer system. E.T. and other video game cartridges are each sold separately.
Your parents.
I had that game, that Atari game.
Your parents will connect to the TV,
That sounded like your video reel and your voice.
right?
Yeah, dude, it sounded like Doug, didn't it?
Wait a minute, didn't it? Hold on here.
E.T. Video game?
E.T. is the Atari video game cartridge you have to buy separately to play on the Atari video
Play on the
computer
video.
system. Your parents hook it up to the TV.
Your parents
It's
hook it up to the
video game
TV.
that lets you help E.T. get home.
But it says it said the computer or the game system that you have to buy separate. You have to buy the cartridge separately. I mean, literally said you have to buy it separately. Did you hear that?
Video game?
E.T. is the Atari video game cartridge you have to buy separately to play on.
You have to buy separately. It's a game that you have to buy separately.
Wait, I'm confused. I'm confused.
I guess it doesn't come with a game system, so you got.
So you've got an Atari,
Yeah.
and you buy the game, but what are you going to buy extra?
Well, how times have changed. Now it's like I have my kids show me how to like hook shit up.
Right.
Like,
Hey, why are we frozen in the monitor, dude?
Oh, look at my face.
Welcome to part 2 of the podcast we call the GenXR podcast. Diamond Dave and Rooster.
What up? What up?
And Doogie McFresh, a.k.a. Douglas
E. Vi.
Where did that come from? I mean, was it Cribs?
No. Dude, you're always trying to take away the credit of my nicknames.
I don't know, but he said it after.
No.
Maybe. What
randomly, out of the blue, we were doing some video production work, and I literally, out of nowhere, just go, Douglas E. Vi. Probably because I was watching like Steve Vai guitar videos and whatever. I just came up with that.
Just like Alfred E. Newman.
Right. It actually makes zero sense with your name.
So for like 2 decades now, there's no.
I've never heard him called Douglas ever until it showed up on my phone. Like, who the hell is Douglas?
Douglas E. Vi.
So was it 4th grade? I think it was 4th grade that you came to Aldridge.
Inappropriately?
That what?
Aldridge. I think it was 4th grade that you came to Aldridge, wasn't it? Or was it 3rd?
Oh.
In Richardson, Texas?
No, it was.
Dave's attorneys have said that he's not allowed to answer these questions.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think the statute of limitations have passed
that's
on
true.
that. No, it was 5th grade.
5th grade?
Yep.
So many fun times going over to Dave's house, and the trouble that we got into.
When we were at your house, didn't we typically sit in a circle and read Bible verses to each other? Isn't that pretty much what happened at your house?
No.
Because that's what I remember.
No, we were always trying to figure out how to put just enough water back in my parents' liquor bottles where they would not notice it.
Did they mark it?
Huh?
Did they mark the?
Well, yeah, but we would put water back in it. But what they do is they outsmarted me, is because what they would do to find out if it had been tampered with, they stick it in the freezer. And so if there were ice crystals in it, they know that we watered it down. Yeah,
I did the same thing at my
I've already broke it down for my daughter. I'm like, Avery, there's nothing that you're going to be able to come up with that I didn't try, pulled off, or got caught doing. So,
and then when we got caught, we perfected it where we wouldn't get caught. At least that we know of.
Well, I'm just saying, my daughter can give it her best shot, but it ain't happening. I don't know, though. To be honest, she doesn't strike me like, I don't even think I've been, I don't think those kids, because of, you got the different generations. We just came from a really wild generation. Mm-hmm. And I think she's way level-headed. She's very, very level-headed, like way more level-headed than I was when I was that age.
Well, Dave, did your folks kind of go, oh, we got a wild one here? Did they just kind of, did they try to discipline you? They try to change you?
No, not at all. What they did is, because they always wanted to know where I was. And they said, look, if you're going to go out, let us know, because we'd rather know where you are than you sneak out and something happened to you and us not know where you are. Okay. And so if you remember back in my parents' house, there was a spiral staircase.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And so when girls would come up,
fell down it a few times.
All hours of the night, they would go. My parents would be in their room, and because whenever you take a step, they go gong, gong, gong. And
do you hear it?
My parents would go up. Well, the elephants are here. What they would even do is, so I wouldn't disturb them and have to shut off the alarm, they gave me a shunt switch in my room that I could press a button, and it would disable the alarm in that back balcony.
Yeah, that was all for their sanity. They're like, this is going to happen, man. We got to figure out a plan around all this.
They were really smart. But you know what? I never did anything that would embarrass. I never did anything wrong. Really, I didn't. I was the crazy one. But because that they gave me that freedom, I never did anything wrong. It's like
interesting.
It's quote like what is it called? The preacher's daughter is always the wildest.
Yeah.
They never put any restrictions on me in anything, and so it's just like I never did. I said, hey,
you probably proved you're responsible enough. Hey, I'm wild and crazy, but you kept it under control.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I did a bunch of stupid stuff too, but not.
We all did.
Yeah, but not something that was going to wind me up in jail. You know. But I mean, just stupid.
That you didn't get caught doing.
15 years old, 16, 17 years old. You know.
Didn't you used to have a Bronco?
Yeah.
And didn't it like the axle break at the parking lot?
There you go. So what I thought was really cool is back then I thought a automatic was like if you put it in neutral and then slam it into first, it was like popping the clutch. No. And so
we all went to like Journey or Motley Crue or something. Like a whole bunch of us were just crammed into that thing.
Yeah.
And went to I don't remember what concert it was. Like Journey, Motley Crue, something like that.
I don't remember.
I mean, I totally remember being in the back and like you're just driving down the road, all just sloshing around back there.
Yeah, of course. I'm laughing watching you guys bounce back like Pong in the back seat. But
such good times.
Yeah, I sheared that axle right in half.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep,
I remember that.
My dad goes, "How'd you do that?" And I go, "I don't know." You know, I'm like, I had a neutral, hit the gas, and slammed it in drive. You know. Because I wanted to get a burnout, in a Bronco, a Blazer. It was a Blazer, actually.
So before we could drive, that was, when we were 15. When did you start driving, Dave?
I mean, legally?
Yeah, where you could, that's a good point because but like
I was driving at 15.
Yeah, I was too.
I was driving at Shepton.
Yeah,
we were in 10th grade. Mm-hmm. I was driving to school.
Same here.
We'd watch Caddyshack. He loved watching Caddyshack.
I still do this day.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
And
you know what? If you show Caddyshack to somebody and they don't get it, there's a good chance you shouldn't be friends with that person.
There's no question about it.
I don't care if they play golf or not. If you don't appreciate the greatness of Caddyshack, there's probably not a whole lot we're going to be able to agree on.
I agree.
That's funny. Okay, so what's next on the agenda, Mark? I'm afraid to get up.
Topic change.
Is it time for a topic change? Hold on. Christ.
This is not how we planned in pre-production.
No,
Are you sure? I mean, I thought you had storyboards. Already ready to go.
We did. We hired an agency that dropped the ball on the storyboards.
Okay, so I'm going to get up now and stuff. How has video production changed since we all started?
So when you were doing weddings, what did you charge for a final product?
There you go.
So on my own, I think the most I ever charged for like a wedding was like $780.
Mine was $850.
Yeah, but then I went to work. So here's my brilliant plan
On DVD?
No. What my
You
plan?
put it on the finished video. Oh.
No.
Oh.
As far as business, so we both had wedding video businesses right around the same time, and like you would say, "Hey man, I'm double booked. Can you go shoot a wedding for me?" And I'd go do it for you. We did so many of those back in that time, and I just got so burnt out on doing it.
Same here, man.
So here's my bright idea. I'm going to go work at a company that is bigger than mine that does wedding videos. And I'm like master negotiator. Like, I don't want to shoot them. I'll edit them all day long. I don't want to shoot them. They're like, that's fantastic. We've got shooters. All we need you to do is edit these videos. I'm like, I'm in.
What
Take the job.
Custom?
First day on the job. Hey, we're overbooked. We need you to go out and shoot a wedding this weekend.
Oh, no kidding.
So now I'm shooting weddings, and those we used to charge $1,500 for a wedding video, and I'm like, man, if I knew I could get away with this, I would go back to running my own company.
Right.
Because they were no different, exact same thing. They just had a much better clientele. A lot of Jewish weddings, man. You've done a lot of Jewish. I've done a lot of Jewish weddings, and Jewish weddings were the ones where you did like that pre-consultation. You knew there's going to be a party.
Oh yeah.
Did you do the okay? I got to go on with the handheld. So you want to say something for the bride and groom?
Absolutely.
And you're like, hi, congratulations, thanks for inviting us.
There it is again.
Yeah. Don't do that voice, man.
I consciously took out the list, but the tone was in that right. Okay, sorry. So say something for the wife and groom. Would you say something on the camera because we're going to videotape you?
Now you sound like an Italian Joan Rivers.
What is happening right now? This went sideways so fast when you start doing voices.
Okay, so
No, yes.
There's this guy down by the river.
No, the answer to your question was yes.
I hated
Did it go
that
around
part.
interviewing?
I hated that
Like
part.
you'd have the camera and you'd have to hand the
And
microphone.
I would
you could
hand
see
it
my
to
hand.
the guy, and he's like, no. I'm like, I have to have you do this. No, I don't want to say
It's
anything.
a bride's request. There,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, hi Jenny. Congratulations. This chicken's great. Thanks.
Yeah. So the one thing that then y'all can tell your story is I did that one time, and I handed it to the groom. All right,
Mike.
Oh, sorry. And I
No. You handed the mic.
Oh yeah, I thought like you couldn't hear me.
No.
I handed the mic to the groom, and I said, "Hey, do you want to say anything to your wife or anything?" And he looked at me dead. And he goes, "Hey, camera boy, beat it."
Boy.
And I turned around. I told my crew, I go, "We're out of here."
Dude.
I go, "Let's go."
That is so hilarious that you say that because I
Yeah.
used to videotape
This was
bar
exact
mitzvahs. I used to videotape bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and these are 13-year-olds. And the exact same thing happened. They were lighting things on fire. Like there was like a little stage, and I don't remember where the place was, but they were back in the back. They were like lighting the tablecloths on fire. And the kid goes, "Hey, video boy, come over here and get me lighting this on fire." And first of all, I got pissed when he called me video boy, but then I kind of had to give him a nod of like, "That's kind of badass. You're lighting shit on fire."
Yeah. Okay, you got my approval. All right, I'm rolling. Go.
I still am not okay with this, but you did win some points with me by burning stuff.
But getting there ahead of time.
The video boy,
the
though.
groom is
Ugh.
getting ready over there. The bride is getting ready over there, and you get some footage of her, and they're like, "Oh, we're just getting dressed," and you're like, "Okay, it's okay. I'm the video guy. I'm gonna shoot you guys a little bit, and then I'm gonna go over and get him, and you try to get as much as you can, and then they start walking out together, and you have to run ahead of them, and then let them walk by the camera, and they're like, run around them again to try to get them, walking towards the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just sweating balls, and I'm finally, all right, now get it on the tripod, and there's 2 other cameras, and all right, get the audio going. Is he got them? Okay, I'm gonna put this microphone on your lapel there, and then it's like, all right, now we were told that you can't get in the frame here because we don't want you to part of the wedding. We want you to, and I'm like, but man, it looks so good if we got really close.
So this is an awesome conversation because we can all relate to this. It's so weird that all 3 of us actually came straight out of high school, or even when you went to college. I mean, we all went straight into video production more or less when we were like in our early 20s.
Well, we were doing video production when we were in high school. Remember, we taped Motley Crue videos.
Oh, yeah, that was so awesome.
And the way we would edit them was we had 2 VCRs, stacked them on top of each other.
Dude, that was so cool.
You had a play and a record.
You had the hat with the little ball on it, and you knock on your door, and then you cut the Vince Neil. Get out of here!
Yeah. And then the way you'd make edits is you'd hit the pause button on the record. Then you'd take the tape up above, fast forward it till you want, you hit it and play.
Dude, you were way ahead of your time,
right before the mark, you'd hit pause, and then you'd do it hit the buttons at the exact same time.
You still got those videos too, don't you?
Then I got them on YouTube.
Yeah. That was a
It
greatness.
sucked if you broke the control track and it would fuzz and come back like,
yeah,
because you hit stop instead of pause, and you're like, oh.
Well, yeah, your vision for like how it's gonna look, like when you do it, you're like, so defeated.
Because whenever you hit record, it would always either go an inch forward or an inch.
That's right. That's right.
And you're like, oh shit, where's the damn mark?
Control track.
That's so great.
But then you have the black burst generator that would stripe the tape and all that stuff. So yeah, we went into that. You guys got a head start actually, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad, made me get a job at the Southland Corporation as a data processing computer operator.
How did he make you get a job there?
He said, son, congratulations on your graduation. He got me an Akai AX60 keyboard because I wanted to be in a rock band. You start Monday.
Wait, time out. The word keyboard and rock band.
Were you in Bon Jovi?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was with Wayne Sutton. It was called Rain Dance.
Yeah.
And we played like the Boys of Summer. And it was,
Sister 7 Wayne Sutton.
Yeah, before. Yeah. And
what up, Wayne?
What up, Wayne? Anyway, he said, you start Monday. Yeah. Your brother worked there as part-time. I got you a full-time job. But Dad, I wanted, everybody else is kind of taking a break after high school. No, you start full-time job. And so I was like, okay, I was a tape ape, you know, the little tapes you put on your arm. So I did that for 7 years. But it got me employed. I got a car, I had an apartment, I got a girlfriend, my own pad. I kind of grew up, you know, I needed to grow up. So while I was doing that, you guys were like recording SVHS stuff and weddings. And so when I realized what I wanted to do.
We're being entrepreneurs, man.
Yes, you were. And then I finally go, you know, I think I want to go to the Art Institute of Dallas. And I actually was working the night shift, 11 at night to 7 a.m. I left to go to the Art Institute right there off Park, right?
Yeah, 75 in Park.
Yep.
Yeah.
Park Lane.
Yep.
From 8
Did
to
you
noon.
go there? You didn't go there.
Yeah.
You went there too?
Yeah.
You went to OU and the Art
Then
Institute?
I got another degree from the Art Institute.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
All three of us went to the Art Institute.
This is before they had the bachelor's program.
Dude, I went through it though. It was like the second class. Like I was like it used to be over there where all the strip clubs were.
That's right. You're right.
Dude, what'd you go for?
Yeah.
I actually went there for website design. I actually graduated in color theory.
Wow.
So, but I
Wait,
learned- I
when
learned
did you do
Photoshop.
this? This is way after, because there wasn't
Yeah.
even the World Wide Web wasn't even happening when I went
No,
there.
yeah. So, but back then there weren't, editors, so it was learning HTML, and I already learned HTML on,
Oh, wow.
on a treadmill. And then so I went there after because, hey, look, I really want to pursue this because I saw, I was getting dates off AOL dial-up. So I really thought, the internet's like, this is the way of the future right here. So I really want to.
You're like,
Man,
you're
we're
like,
so dating ourselves
like
right now.
C-
AOL. Like, if some millennial stumbled across this video, 90% of everything we're talking about, they're like, what language are they speaking?
so C:,
Oh, keyboards.
Doug's over here writing code.
/ directory. I got a question. Is it dir and then / root? What is it? Okay, got it. All right, next page. Okay, so
Doug, program the next social media site that we can crush Facebook with
Okay,
real
hold on,
quick.
hold
Do
on.
that real quick.
all right.
Yeah, let them buy us
There
out.
we go. And
Done.
done. Excuse me.
Oh, wow. So anybody that has watched the first Gen XR podcast where we tackled some really serious subjects,
Yeah.
this is definitely a left
different.
turn from the last
It's a
time.
little. If you could go back in time into 1985, what would you do first? So this is the remote control, right? You go 1985. Ooh, it's
Oh,
kinda-
is that a question? Like, is that a
this is-
topic?
okay,
Oh,
actually-
If
so
we
what
could
we
go
were- so we were
from
16.
today,
Yeah, today,
and go
go
back
back
in
to
time,
1985.
I would kill everybody in Guns N' Roses and form Guns N' Roses with Dave and Steve Mendoza.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
Mendoza was pretty freaking awesome.
We'd have to find
Still
Guns N'
is.
Roses. We'd have to kill them all.
So it was playing softball. Somebody hits a ball. The ball's coming to me. Slow motion. Boop. I drop it. Gary Golgar. I'm friends with him now. This is very ironic, but he's like, way to go, Doug. And I go, fuck you, Gary. Leo followed me and goes, ooh, you going to take that from him, Gary?
I can see
And
that.
Gary's like, what'd you say to me? And I go, whatever, dude. And he's like, oh, I'm going to fight you. And Leo instigated a fight. All right. So boom, this is second period. I go throughout the whole day. There's a fight going on. And Gary Golgar.
Oh, you've told me this story before.
Did a fight. And so David Mason was my.
You mean the black belt? That
Yes,
David Mason?
yes.
I
So
remember that.
I took karate from the American Karate Institute.
Right.
What's up, Dave?
Made up name.
Mason. And so I'd gotten to a
Fake
blue belt.
accreditation.
And he's talking to me like in third period, like, okay, remember what we taught you. It was just so classic. You let his body, if he comes charging, let his momentum work. Remember all the stuff we taught you. I'm like, okay, but if you can run away, run away. I'm like, okay. Fourth period, fifth period, and people in the hallway, I heard there's a fight going on. And I'm like, oh crap.
The tension is building.
Sixth period, the last period of the day, I sit in history in front of Matt Powell, who is friends with Gary Golgar. And as soon as that bell rings, I stand
This is
up.
Vines, right?
Vines. I stand up. Matt Powell grabs the back of my shirt and is like, you're going to fight. And I'm like, dude, come on. So we're walking and I
thought you might have gotten away with it.
I put my backpack, I opened the band door because I was, a band. I played the trumpet.
Because
for crying out loud.
Doug traded his guitar for a trumpet. And see how that worked out for him?
Right?
Had he stuck with the guitar, none of this would have happened to Doug.
He literally says, "You're not going anywhere." I go, "I'm putting my backpack down." I open up we walk out the double doors where the smoking pit was on the side. I guess it was this.
There's one for you, younger generations. Yeah. You could smoke cigarettes at school.
Yeah, there's a smoking pit. And I walk out, and I just floods of people. Who's fighting? Who's fighting? And I'm walking past 15th Street, I think that is. There's a McDonald's, and then there's an alley with a brick wall, alley, and then houses with wood fences. Everybody, that's where the fight was taking place. Here I was. I had the jocks and the band guys on one side of the circle, and I had the freaks on the other side with the rock
freaks. You remember that?
Yeah, the freaks and the jocks. So there's Gary Goldgar, just like in a movie.
So that's where Leo fought too. That was like the fighting pit.
That must have been.
That's where everybody fought.
And I'm like, oh, here we go. He takes off his shirt. And he comes charging at me, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Did he cut his chest with a giant knife like the dude in Predator?
No.
Like,
like Billy.
Yeah, Billy. That's 48 Hours, dude. Same dude.
Oh, yeah.
Different movie. Go ahead, man.
He's charging at me, and I'm thinking, okay, use the momentum against him. So he's coming, and I remember just kind of pulling him into my knee and kneed him, and he's like, ugh. And next thing you know, we're fighting, okay?
Body blow. Body blow.
It was just
knock him
like
out.
that.
Knock him out.
Don't make me do it. I will do it. And so we're fighting, and he gets some punches. I get some punches. Somehow I'm on the ground, and he's on top of me, and he's hitting me. And I remember holding my hands up like this, and boom, he's hit me in the ear, and I'm like, oh, crap, I'm so screwed. And then all of a sudden, I just had this burst of energy, and next thing you know, I don't even know to this day how I'm on top of him. And I'm like, all right, so I start punching him. Punching him. This is where Leo Fabian takes a cigarette and was about to burn my hair. and Joey Rosenborough.
Made up name.
Thank you, Joey. Pulled him up and said, let him fight.
Yeah. Dude, that dude was a monster.
He was a monster. He's a football player.
Yep.
So then we somehow get up. He's got a little bruise. I've got a little cut on my nose. He decides to charge me against the wood fence. So we're in the alley, and he pushes me in the wood fence. And just like in wrestling, you get the momentum. So I now have the momentum, and now I'm pushing him against a brick wall.
For everybody watching, it does have a good ending. Go ahead, Doug.
All right. So I push his head into the brick thing. Wall. Thank you.
Why can't you say brick wall?
It's a brick wall.
Why do you avoid the word brick wall?
It does get confusing because there's a wood fence and there's a brick wall.
That's all I'm saying, dude.
Right, you're right. Hey, Mark.
Just say brick wall.
You're right.
All right.
So I push his head into the brick wall, and I see the cuckoo going around his head, and that was my moment to just get in as many punches of the face I could. And I did.
Finish him.
Finish him. The fight kind of sounded like this.
Was that Tyson?
Mike Tyson's punch out, man.
Yeah, Tyson punch out.
So I'm doing that, and then he's bleeding, and it was clear that he couldn't go on anymore. And they separate us, and Gary Goldgar goes, "We'll finish this later." I'm like, God.
Yeah, no, we're finishing now.
This is it. So I leave. I'm walking. Everybody disperses. I go back to clean up my. Oh, no, I forgot to tell you. When I was hitting him on the ground, he bit my arm and drew blood. So he bit my arm.
Nice.
So I go into the bathroom, clean up the blood, and all my band friends are like,
dude, I remember. Hold it. Is this when the band teacher? Yes, I was there. I remember that. I was there.
You were the one who called me at home and said, man, you're lucky you're not here because there's some guy with a baseball bat in his locker saying, where's that Doug guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Because I remember your band teacher coming out.
Mr. Velez.
Yeah.
And so it was
you were
just
going,
like,
this motherfucker.
Why is he
so cool?
Wait, he said he was coming out in the middle of all this?
All right, so I get out of the bathroom and I'm bleeding.
Man, and I forgot all about this.
Yes, I forgot, Dave. You were the one. So I get out of the bathroom.
35 years ago.
And like my trumpet friends.
I remember what I fucking had for dinner last night.
My trumpet friends like
40 years ago, if you guys were in 10th grade.
My band friends are like, no, you really got him good. You really got him good. And I'm like, I just want to go home. And as I come out, There's I forgot the guy's name, but he was known for having steel-toed boots and kicking somebody in the head and like almost causing him to die or some shit.
3 o'clock high.
All right, and it was him and 2 other guys, and it was like, and he had a spike around his hand.
Good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, and he goes, he says this, you know karate? I know karate too. You're mine. And I'm going, dude, I didn't even want to fight in the first place. And he's walking backwards, and here's Mr. Velez right there, and he lets him run into him, and he turns around, and he's like, and Mr. Velez, what's going on here? He's like, he literally says, this kid beat up my friend. He knows karate, and he didn't tell him about it ahead of time. And he goes, well, your friend must be not very smart because this guy's a pretty big guy. Anyway, I go home and I literally get into Mike Adkins' car because I was riding with Mike Adkins. I get home, my mom and dad, I tell them what happens. The principal calls my dad. I understand that your son was in a fight. Yeah, that's what I heard. From the sounds of it, looks like he got the guy pretty good. Well, he didn't want to fight in the first place. He doesn't want it to school because he's getting threatened by some other kids. Well, from this guy's a known troublemaker, I'll give him an excuse absence so he doesn't have to go to school tomorrow. The weekend will come by. Hopefully after the time goes by, we only have 2 days left of school, Monday and Tuesday, and then we're out for the whole year. So that day I was out is when you call, and I tell the story and they're like, he called you. They didn't have cell phones back then. I'm like, I don't know how Dave called me. There must have been a pay phone there, but you called me at my house and said, man, you're good you're not here because there's people saying, looking for me. Yeah. So I get back to school on that Monday. It's woodworking class, second period. Leo Fabian is in the classroom. Gary Golgar's there. He's got bruises and a nose is all got a Band-Aid on it and everything.
And you got a bite on your arm.
A bite in my arm.
Right.
Leo goes, Gary, you fucking bit him? And he's like, I didn't know the dude knew karate because apparently I got into a karate stance and I made a big karate move or something.
You were selling it hard, dude.
I was. But it got me respect. It got me some respect and
saved you from getting your ass beat.
It did. But man, I could write a short story about this. Just the clock ticking in between second period.
It was.
And third period.
It was that movie. Was it 12 o'clock high, 3 o'clock high? What was it called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's
it had Richard Tyson in it.
Yeah, I know the movie you're talking. I can't think of it right now.
It's called 3 o'clock high.
But the whole movie is based around starting in like a whole day is going by leading up to the fight.
How he tried to get out of it and everything.
Yeah, it was just like it happened yesterday. I'm so glad you remembered that because the odds of me bringing up the story, but you were the guy that called me. Anyway, that was like my big fight, and it was at Vines. Did you guys ever get in fights?
Never been in a fight in my life.
Yeah,
you did.
Dude, and I got the shit kicked out of me when I was this story is a little bit worse ending story than yours. I was a freshman in college, and this was I mean, it's funny now, but
Oklahoma
back then, yeah. So we were on our way to go to a party in Stillwater, and I'm sure a couple of Land guys, if they're watching this, they're going to remember this vividly. But we were in this van. Somehow we rented a van, and we were all going to go to a party in Stillwater. And we were with, I was a freshman there. Just got it. I think I just got initiated in the fraternity. I was a freshman there. So, everybody else was, had their, jeans on and cool looking. But anyway, of course, I thought I was just going to really dress up nice. I had my khaki pants on.
Your Z Cavaricis?
No, they weren't Z's. I had my khaki pants on, and I had my pink. Had a pink shirt on,
a pink polo with a blue polo underneath.
No, this was
with
after
a collar tucked up.
It was just a
button down, right?
One button down, and I had pink suspenders on with like with a naked topless leg. You couldn't see the boobs though, but bubbles covered her up, and it was hilarious
on the suspenders.
On the suspenders, yeah. So it was pink naked lady bubbles, and. We're going down. We're headed up north on 35 to go to a party in Stillwater, and of course, we're all drinking everything. It's me and a couple of 2, 3, 4. No, it was about 4 fraternity brothers, a couple other, that were in my class, and other were seniors and juniors. going up 35. We're all drinking. We had our big sisters in the car. So there was, half guys, half girls in the car. Well, one of the guys in the car, if you're watching, I'm not going to mention names, he decided to take a beer bottle and just boom, throw it out the window, and it hits this old blue I think it was an old blue Camaro, okay? And then, and for no reason, okay?
Y'all are driving.
We're driving, yeah. And he just...
But they're like next to you, and he just whipped it out the window?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And I didn't know it. So we pull up to get fuel or whatever, and then all of a sudden this little Camaro pulls up
with a busted windshield.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden this when I say little, this guy probably about 5 feet tall, about that wide. Can you get to me in frame? I'm stretching my arms out really wide right here.
Here we go.
This wide. If this one dude gets out, he's as wide as he is tall. Then another dude gets out just like him. Then another dude gets it. That was like the fucking clown car.
I was going to say, like the circus clowns.
And then the last one to get out was this monster, 6'5". Imagine a ripped Joey Roseborough.
Oh my God!
I mean, this dude was a
ripped Joey Roseborough.
I mean, he was. Well, anyway, the car was full of the OSU wrestling team. Okay,
good times.
Yeah, and so we get out, and then there wasn't one word that
and
was
your
said.
Suspenders. You're like,
yeah,
all right.
And I had taken kickboxing, okay, which is basically I think dancing, and now, so I mean compared to MMA right now, I mean it's just learning how to dance and look good on camera, I think. But so here, all these guys, and there's a couple of guys in my truck that are pretty good sized dudes. But anyway, I mean there's no competition for these. I mean, they're wrestlers for God's sake.
They compete.
And and then and this one guy, the big dude, he's just going around going, bam, knocks a guy out. Another guy, bam, knocks him out. My fraternity brother that's in my class, he's walking inside. He barely knows what's going on. This guy pulls up behind him, bam, hits him from back, knocks his molar out. And then all of a sudden he turns and looks right at me. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh man.
And here this guy comes. And I went, oh my God. I go, I'm going to get fucking clobbered. Well, he's coming at me, so I, unfortunately, the shit that I learned didn't quite pay off.
But you had to get in some sort of defensive stance.
So I got a defensive stand, and I did one of my front forks.
Did you do crane? Did you do the crane?
I didn't do the whooping crane. But anyway, I kicked him, and I thought I did good, and it just pissed him off even more.
I broke your foot.
And then all of a sudden, I think I was so scared. All of a sudden, he just goes, bam, and he hits me in my nose, and my nose went, fuck it, right off of my face. I mean, it just,
your nose ran.
Dude,
like, as your nose flew off, you looked at it, and it was just like this to you.
Dude, yeah, my nose said, I'm out of here. I mean, it literally exploded on my face. Okay? And then it didn't knock me out where I fell backwards, hit my head. But I went down. And you talk about seeing Tweety birds, you think of that as just, man, I saw damn Tweety birds. And then
down goes Frazier.
So anyway,
down goes Frazier.
Should have bit his ear.
So anyway, I'm just walking inside him, and when he hit me, you ever the old term fight or flight?
Yeah.
Dude, I pooped all in my pants, man.
No kidding.
Bad.
It just released.
It was bad.
You mean literally, or are you joking?
No, I'm not speaking. I'm not speaking metaphorically. I shit my pants. All right, and it was.
I've never met anybody who shit their pants.
No, they just don't tell you.
Probably.
I mean, now I'm 51. It's an every occasion. So man, I'm like,
what point do you smell it and go?
Well, no, you don't. You don't even smell anything. You know you did it. You know, so you don't have to, So anyway, my nose is bleeding all over me, and I've got a ball of shit in my underwear right now. So I'm sitting here waddling inside, trying not to fall over. I'm doing.
You have pants on, so it's got to be sliding down.
But I didn't have boxers on. I always wore tight, not briefs, but whatever you call it, the longer ones.
Yeah.
And then so luckily it caught it. All right.
So
anyway, I go into the bathroom and I pull my pants down and just sit down. I don't even think I looked at the toilet to see if there was piss on it. So I sit down on it, and as I lean over, a line of blood comes out, not droplets, but literally a line of, like when you turn the faucet on.
Oh, right.
When you turn it on, just a little bit, not enough where you see the white bubbles come out of it, but just enough where it's a steady clear line.
I gotcha.
It was gushing out of it. And then so finally I'm looked down, I'm like, oh God, I shit myself. And I go, I've got a party to go to, and I've got 4 or 5 girls in this van.
But are my suspenders still intact?
And my suspenders were still intact. And then so I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? So anyway, I'm sure there's other guys out there that can relate to this. So anyway, man, took off my damn shoes and my pants, took that underwear, threw that shit in the trash.
Commando time.
Yeah. So
you didn't try to like clean it in the sink or anything.
No.
And then use the hand dryer to dry it off.
They didn't have those.
No, you just pulled the ripcord. You're like, I'm out. Like there's no way to salvage this.
Yeah, but man, it's one of those kinds that was really messy. You use like a whole roll of toilet paper to get fucking clean. You know what I mean? And anyway, so luckily, no remnants came out the back of my khakis right now. But I mean, it should have shot all the way back to Norman. That's how fucking fast. Yeah.
So after you clean up and you the bad guys are gone right by now, right?
Well, yeah, because the police were coming. Oh. And so they all got in the car and took off.
There's 12 dudes laying on the ground.
At a gas station.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was something you see on the viral video right now. Did
y'all get back in the car and like, all right, let's go to the party?
Shit, we went to that damn party. You better believe it.
To be honest with you, I mean, I've been around a lot of all these kind of scenarios. I've probably instigated fights, but I've never been in a fight.
Has anybody like challenged you to a fight and you went and you're like, no, you've never really had to make the decision. Am I going to fight or am I going to walk?
I'll tell you one funny story, and I still have. Here's a great story. To your point, the only time I even got close was during summer break between like 5th grade and 6th grade.
Oh my God. 5th grade, 6th grade.
And there was a kid named Brett Royster.
Oh, what a dick.
Made up name. No. That's really his name.
Like the
somehow we got sideways, and he's like, and again, you guys are talking about like, how did Dave call you and tell you what was going on?
Yeah.
Again, he called my house. He's like, I'm going to ride my bike over there and I'm going to beat you up. And I'm like, why? Like, I don't know what the deal is, but I'm all freaked out because like this dude's going to ride over and beat me up.
Yeah.
Now, I call my mom. She was working. I call my mom. I go, Mom, Brett Royster's going to ride his bike over and beat me up.
No, he's not.
Exactly.
He better not.
She's like, you just need to stay inside and lock the door. Well, I did that, and he's banging on the door. It's like, I know where you're at.
Is that Rob guy?
I don't remember the details after that. Maybe I blocked it out. I don't think he beat my ass.
Look, you're not going to beat up my son. You get out of here. Is that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much. Long story short.
Your mommy's
this is early 80s, 83, 84. I don't even know what the year. Long time. I'm working at a barbecue.
Sex trafficking?
Yeah. Oh. No, not that job. Not that job. And I don't want to talk about that job.
Okay.
I'm working at a barbecue, plug for Premier Grilling.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Premier Grilling, the finest barbecue outdoor kitchen construction company and the finest barbecue equipment on the market. Exactly.
Premier Grilling.
Anyway, long story short, I'm working there and a dude calls the phone, and I answer the phone, and he says, this is Brett Royster. I've got a pool company. And he starts talking about this.
Did
I
go, say your name's Brett Royster?
So he used his own name.
Dude, I go, hey, man.
You never beat my ass.
I go, Brett Royster, like carpenter Brett Royster? He's like, yeah. And I go, hey, man, this is Mark Roos. And he's like kind of silent for a second. I start to remember in my like 6th or 7th grade yearbook, that dude drew an axe. And he signed inside, like he drew a giant axe on my yearbook.
With blood on the tip and everything.
Yes. And inside with the
Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
Molly Hatchet
exactly
act.
like that. But inside where the metal part
Molly
is,
Hatchet.
he wrote, Mark, this is to prove that you knew me before I became a serial killer.
Oh, did you still have that book?
I still fucking have it. And I told him on the phone, I go, hey, man, it's Mark Roos. Do you remember?
Did you end up being a serial killer like you thought you were going to?
Well, no, I didn't go there yet, just yet.
Oh, not yet.
So
Yeah.
he's
Smart.
confused,
Yeah,
and he's
smart.
like, "Well, Carpenter. Well, I got sent to a private school." And I'm like, yeah, I know why, because you're a psycho. I didn't say that. But I go,
you don't need to knock on your door again.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Mom, Mark's at my door again.
But I tell him, I go, hey, man, think about this for real quick. Remember, we went to school together. We almost got in a fight. It's Mark Roos. And he's kind of quiet. And he goes, Mark, oh, yeah. I go, you signed my yearbook. And I told him about that whole thing. And he was silent. And he goes, I'm so sorry. Like he was like, I'm so sorry. Like I'm a Christian now, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it's no big deal. I'm just telling you how freaky this is that we're talking. And he's like, yeah, it is kind of, it's kind of
that grill now.
I mean,
are you not going to sell me the grill now? Oh, well, for you, it's going to cost a little bit more.
$10,000 for that grill. I'm not wired that way. Like I'm always looking to get along, go along to get along.
Righting the wrong. I mean, even at Wilson, Dave. I mean, there was Mike Hanafy was a friend of mine. He's passed away, but he couldn't control his bowel movements. He was.
I know what that's like.
Yeah. only he didn't get punched.
Right.
For it. And he would get ridiculed. And he was in my neighbor.
Hold on, what was his name?
Mike Hanafy. And he's tall. He had acne.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I remember him vividly in PE class.
Because he
with Coach Frisbee.
Coach Frisbee.
Okay,
Frisbee.
there's another. There's another
Hey,
great topic coming up on.
Hey, Bip.
Hey, Bip.
Getting the shout. Well, I remember.
He's no longer here.
He died. I saw him.
I remember him having several accidents in in gym class.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was hard.
He had one kidney, and he had a problem, controlling his bowel movements. And I think he wore diapers and stuff like that.
Let me ask before you continue, real quick. Both of you at that age, when something like that would happen, I know me personally, I would have. I've never bullied anyone in my life. If I saw that happen to somebody, I can guarantee you I would have been like, hey man, it's cool, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but
I'm asking you two,
well, here's
you
what
feel
happened.
the same way?
This other guy, he was a roper, and it was in the courtyard at Wilson.
Roper.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that term?
Yeah.
He was a roper, and they wore those little belts that kind of
they were in ag or whatever.
Yeah, on that.
He went up
FFA,
to
Future Farmers of America.
Yeah.
ag.
It's not politically correct to say that.
So he comes up and he goes, "Hey, Mike, shit your pants." And I stand up. I go, "Hey, this is your classic. Why don't you go pick on somebody in your own size?" And I stood up, and he goes, "Sorry, okay." And he backed down because I could have whipped him.
Yeah.
But I did that a lot for Mike Hanafy because I didn't like to see that injustice going on. And
well, that was my question. Like you
I stuck
kind
up
of
for
the
people
same,
a lot.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. I remember his name was Mike, but I couldn't remember his last name.
Yeah.
But I remember.
I think that's empathy, though. Like, you either have empathy or you don't.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. We've talked about
good times, though.
The coronavirus. We've talked about George Floyd. We've had some serious discussions in the past podcast, but today we thought, the hell with that. For one day, let's just have fun.
This is a tough time right now. Everything is chaos abound, but we know each other, going on 35, almost 40 damn years. We know each other.
We're still breathing.
Sitting here, hanging out, talking about the old times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about. Whether or not you can relate to anything we talked about, you can relate to the fact that you know people that you grew up with and you hung out with. It's a good time. And there's a lot of bad things happening right now, but just try to stay positive.
Yeah, and on Facebook, this is going to be posted on Facebook. All you friends that we grew up with at Aldridge Elementary, right, Dave?
That's right.
At the Wilson.
Carpenter Middle School.
Carpenter.
Clark.
Vines.
Shepton.
And the Plano Senior High School. Woohoo! Those are the folks that if you are my friend on Facebook or Mark or Dave's, you're gonna remember.
You're gonna remember some of these stories, or you're gonna relate to this, but you're gonna laugh when you see us and go, "Man, those dudes look old."
I know.
Well, sayonara.
Peace.
Rock on.